Alex Eala overwhelmed by Filipino love, glad impact remains positive. Now ranked WTA number 49, Eala has welcomed the surge of fan support, viewing it as proof that she is making a positive impact beyond the court. In a country of more than 7,000 islands, home to over 110 million Filipinos, sporting gems are everywhere. But not all of them emerge as pink diamonds. Alex Eala is one of the rare ones. Forged by pressure and fueled by grit and patriotism, Eala has risen above her peers, drawing all eyes after a stellar 2025 campaign, the most successful of her young career so far. Her breakthrough sparked an outpouring of support from Filipino fans worldwide, highlighted by a mural, multiple accolades, and even the staging of the inaugural WTA 125 Philippine Open. Still, the 20-year-old continues to navigate through the attention with humility and gratitude. I'm slowly becoming more aware of the gravity that people say I have here. This is my home, so it's hard to feel like I'm all this and all that, Eala said during a press conference at the Rizal Memorial Complex. Every time I come home I feel warmth. It's a familiar atmosphere. All of this attention is quite new, especially after the success of last year, she added. It's a learning curve for me to figure out how to deliver. Now ranked WTA number 49, Eala has welcomed the surge of fan support, viewing it as proof that she is making a positive impact beyond the court. But it's a really good problem to have, she said. It means I'm doing well, making people happy and touching lives in a certain way. So I'm happy about it. The Southeast Asian Games gold medalist was also thrilled to learn she had been featured in an art installation alongside Filipino sports icons Manny Pacquiao, Olympic gold medalists Hidalyn Diaz Naranjo and Carlos Yulo, and other national greats. I feel very flattered being alongside so many great names. It's hard to grasp, lalo na the mural, Eala said. It's my first time seeing something like that, and I'm very proud to do what I can. I'm so happy to be alongside those great athletes, she added. The 5'9", seeded number 2, opens her campaign against Russia's Elena Kharieva in the main draw of the WTA 125 tournament at the Rizal Memorial Tennis Center. Alex Eala, overwhelmed by Filipino love, grateful for the positive impact beyond the court. In a nation of more than 7,000 islands with over 110 million hearts beating for sports, champions are celebrated, but few transcend the game itself. Alexandra Alex Eala, the 20-year-old Filipina tennis prodigy, is now one of those rare figures whose influence reverberates far beyond baseline rallies and scoreboard points. At first, it was her breakthrough, the smash that broke ceilings, a historic win at a Grand Slam main draw and a meteoric rise into the top ranks of the WTA Tour. Those achievements brought headlines. But what followed was something she never quite anticipated, a swelling outpouring of affection from Filipino fans at home and across the globe. I'm slowly becoming more aware of the gravity that people say I have here. This is my home, so it's hard to feel like I'm all this and all that, she said at a press event at the Rizal Memorial Complex, her voice reflective. Every time I come home I feel warmth. It's familiar. All this attention is quite new, especially after the success of last year. In essence, Alex is describing a journey that goes far beyond tennis. A young sportsperson navigating the tension between expectation and identity, national pride and personal growth. The rise of a pink diamond. Alex Eala's rise is extraordinary, not just for the Philippines but for Southeast Asia as a whole. In a sport historically dominated by West Europeans and Americans, her presence in the upper echelons of women's tennis, including breakthroughs into Grand Slam main draws, represented a shift. Her achievements include becoming the first Filipino to win a Grand Slam junior singles title, breaking into the top 50 of the WTA rankings, majestic performances at major WTA events like Miami and the US Open, marking historic victories which energized Filipino tennis fans worldwide. These landmarks ignited conversation, not just about wins and losses, but about what she symbolizes: hope, possibility, and a bold new narrative for Filipino athletes everywhere. A crowd that travels with her. At the 2026 Australian Open, spectators were stunned not just by her athleticism but by the sheer magnitude of Filipino support that followed her to Melbourne Park. Flags, chants, and spirited cheers flooded Court 6, to the point that even the umpire had to remind fans about tennis etiquette. After her first-round match, a hard-fought loss to Alicia Parks, Alex did what few young athletes might manage. She acknowledged the moment with gratitude. "I felt so loved. Even when I was 5-2 down in the third set, I still felt the love, so I'm really appreciative and super thankful," she told reporters, visibly moved by the support. It was more than cheering. It was a cultural moment of unity where an entire community saw a reflection of itself in her presence. Yet this attention hasn't come without its challenges. Being swarmed by affection, expectation, and even social media frenzy can be overwhelming, especially for a 20-year-old still carving her path. Alex has said as much, admitting at times she finds it difficult to fully grasp the magnitude of her growing role as a national figurehead. What this love really means to her. Instead of shying away, Alex has welcomed the wave of support as something positive and humbling, viewing it as evidence that her presence and performance can touch lives far beyond tennis fan circles. "It's a really good problem to have. It means I'm doing well, making people happy, and touching lives in a certain way, so I'm happy about it," she said with a gentle laugh. Her rising profile, from murals celebrating her career alongside Filipino sports icons, to being honored in public art installations, exemplifies that support. It's not just about applause after a point won. It's recognition from a nation that is celebrating its own. That narrative is reinforced every time she steps into a press conference, carries herself graciously in interviews, or reflects on how she hopes to inspire the next generation of athletes in the Philippines. Her words often circle back to humility. "I hope that what I do and the success I've had recently can contribute to Philippine tennis and maybe the history and future of the sport here," she said in a presser ahead of a home tournament. A shared legacy beyond the scoreboard. For many Filipinos, sports icons are cultural touchstones, figures who embody the spirit of the nation. In Alex Eala, that spirit resonates on multiple levels: ambition, resilience, and an unwavering connection to her roots. Her journey, from training overseas to becoming a beloved national figure, also mirrors a broader story about Filipino identity in the global arena. She speaks Filipino in international interviews, embraces local culture, and mentions her heritage with pride, layering her global achievements with a deeply personal connection to her homeland. It's a narrative that speaks to immigrants, overseas workers, and younger generations who see in her the emblem of who they are and who they can become. This connection is not superficial. Fans often speak of how her presence has ignited interest in tennis, a sport traditionally